of rugby, and one that Franco Smith and the Glasgow Warriors will celebrate, because that was a real tussle. They found themselves down. They found themselves with 14 men, and they managed to come through and prevail in what was a battle between two of the top sides in the BKT United Rugby Championship. And the final score at Scotstoun Stadium, Glasgow Warriors 21, Vodacom Bulls 12. Well, I think we expected maybe not exactly that type of a game of rugby, but it was intense. It almost had that feel of a sort of playoff style. You wouldn't be surprised if these two meet in the last 8 come June.
Yeah, 100%. And you talk about the game here last year that the Bulls won in a fairly close contest, even though the stats perhaps didn't show that. But you know, what is important, not only from Glasgow getting the win, but also the Bulls going home with nothing from their perspective. When you talk about log points towards the end of the season, we know the Bulls are going to be there or thereabouts, so the quality they win their squad. It's a big win for Glasgow. It looked and seemed like it was going to go the other way when Vinnie LaRue scored. And then Kurtley Aronson gets another try. That gets chalked off, but they found it within themselves, Glasgow. That man, Ferguson, was outstanding. Dempsey carried big. They went back to their super strength of the line-out drive, and I'm sure Franco Smith will have a few things that he's a little bit annoyed about, but he'll be delighted with the composure and swinging the momentum back in their favour to get the win.
Yeah, composure's the right word, isn't it? When you're up against it and nothing's going right and you've conceded a lead and it looks like you're 2 scores behind, you get a little bit of fortune, but you need composure, you need a clear plan when you're up against it, and I think that'll please Franco Smith no end. The physical nature of rising to the challenge of the Bulls, who were physically dominant for long periods in that game. What will frustrate Franco Smith was there'd be a number of kind of handling errors and knock-ons or turnovers in possession in that first half to start with, but he'll be delighted with the resilience and the clarity and the plan to get back into the game, built on their set piece that struggled at scrum time obviously, but they managed that programme better in the second half, and then got up to a lot of strength from the driving line out, and yeah, just a number of options to have in an attacking sense. So I'll be happy overall with a home win, and they go after the first block of 5s with 4 victories.
Well, we can now head down pitch side because Connie McLaughlin is with the Glasgow Warriors skipper Kyle Steyn and the BKT URC player of the match. He is back, Jack Dempsey.
Thank you very much for that, Rory. Kyle, I'll let you do the honours. Congratulations. Goodness me, that was a hard-fought one tonight. Kyle, what was it like for you?
Yeah, exactly. Real tough. They kept firing shots, and thought we played a lot of good rugby in the first half, and maybe didn't get the reward for it, but I was just really proud of the boys that, when it got tough and it got tight, that's when they stood up and made it happen.
How did it feel to finally be back in a competitive match again, Jack?
It didn't feel good, to be honest. I mean, coming back from, 6-7 months out and got to play one of the best teams in the comp, let alone the style that they play, was tough. But, when I got boys like this next to me out there, it makes it easier.
In terms of your own progression, where you are, in terms of your fitness, is it going to take a bit of a while for you as well to get back to that kind of level, given the competitiveness we saw there? There's some pretty hard hits.
I don't know. When you get to my age, I'm 31 now. You kind of hope that you've learned how to you learned how to find form quickly. So it's just more about getting the lungs kind of used to it and the legs. But as I said, you play a team like that with that quality, it fast tracks you in a way. But yeah, it felt good.
How important was it to have this guy back?
Pardon?
How important was it to have this guy back?
Oh yeah, massive. Look, I think it's always, he's one of our best carriers, and to be honest, every time he's come back from injury, he normally puts in some of his best performances. So we're really buzzing to have him back for this one. He's a big game player for us as well. When those big moments come, he stands up. So yeah, really tough to have him back. Congratulations,
guys. Well done. Congratulations, Jack.
Well, that's a year since the Scotstoun faithful have seen Jack Dempsey in a Warriors shirt here. 9 months since he played for the club. He makes a huge difference, just giving them that power from 8, the ball carrying abilities, isn't it?
Yeah, he's massive. You hear Kyle Steyn talking about him and waxing lyrical about how big he is when he comes back from injury for them, and he's a real focal point, ball in hand, gets over. He doesn't look too pumped with his man of the match performance there, but you've just played your first game in about 9 months. Be happy, pal, and you got man of the match. but he's going to be amazing for Scotland as well. You know, that physical ball carrying ability, ball out of contact. You know, he's a wonderful player, and you just hope he stays fit and has a run of games.
But even just to play 80 minutes, you know, after such a long time out, and then the number of involvements in the game he had, the number of contacts he took, and you know, that's a reward in itself. Never mind the form that he brought with it, but he's more than that. He's really good off short line-outs where he's running an open field and get his hands free. He's got a bit of footwork in him as well. His backmate row colleagues were excellent. See Matt Fagerson there and Gregor Brown again.
I'd have given it to Matt Fagerson.
You'd have given it to Matt Fagerson. I thought Josh Mackay was good at fullback as well. Staffan McDowell really stood up in that second half. But that's what happens when you come and watch Glasgow. They've got candidates left, right and centre because they've got such a quality squad with so much depth. And I just go back to them, you know, that disappointing defeat in Benetton, but they'll go into the break pretty happy, 4 from 5.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Shall we see what Ryan and John are up to?
Thanks, fellas. We are down here on the pitch. The boys are just about to do the huddle. Really inconvenient timing, actually, because we're going to try and grab a player. Actually, we will start to grab a player. Let's just grab this man straight away. Hold on, let's just grab him. No, you're straight in. You're straight in.
Straight in, mate.
What about this bloke? Straight back into the team after faking a few injuries, and now he's throwing it about, man of the match.
Jeez, bro, when he's fresh, he's a different animal, isn't he? Popped out the chamber. I was expecting it, to be honest. I've known him a long time now, but I was expecting him to have that type of performance, and far out, bro. He's such a valuable asset for us. It just gets us going forward, and you don't need to call anything from him. You just give him the ball and let him go, you know?
He's unbelievable. We won't keep you too long. I'm going to keep you for a little bit longer. The Bulls, there's almost started to build a bit of a rivalry. We talked about it before the game. You know, all those big matches against them, obviously going over there to Pretoria, doing the big dub on them. Was there a little bit of niggle out there? Were they a bit quieter than normal?
There's always. We kind of said that before the game that they were going to come here with bad intentions like they did last year, and they're the games you love to play, the hostile ones where there's talk during the game. It's a really physical one, and we just embraced that. I thought we walked to the fire because there was a point in that game, maybe around 50, 60 minutes, where the game was up for grabs, and I thought particularly our forwards like Demo and the front row really stepped up there, and it was the maul in the end that kind of pushed us over the line there. So I'm just happy that we walked towards it at that 50, 60 minute mark.
Yeah, what was said, Sione, at that 50, 60 minutes, you're right, it felt like they had a disallowed try up the far end, and you guys seemed to come straight back. But what was the messaging on the pitch?
Yeah, I think we spoke on under the post there after that disallowed try, and we just said, look, we've got to make a choice now at 50, 60 minutes that they're applying pressure. We're either going to walk towards it or we're going to lose this game. And I was really proud of our attitude to walk towards it.
I will go and find someone, but I did want to say, I saw you on the edge of that maul. You looked like you were doing absolutely nothing. I think you were pushing George Horn out of it by accident at one point.
No, well, you got to understand it's about angles, Wilson. I was angling it back in. It's a hidden art, Wilson.
We'll go back and have a look. Listen, good luck for the autumn test.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
Well, let's go find someone else. Here he is.
Duncan Weir.
Boggy is. He's in trouble after the weekend. He played golf with me. He was absolutely shocking.
Joshy, how are you, bro?
Yeah, good, mate.
The Kiwi from Kaiapoi, mate. How was that?
Yeah, it was bloody good. You know, always a big battle against the Bulls. Probably a bit of a step up in physicality. So, happy to finish the first block off a dub.
Worried at any point?
What's that, sorry?
Were you worried at any point when you thought that try went to the far end?
Wasn't.
Nah, absolutely not. But it was nice when it got chalked off. So it almost gave us a bit of a boost there. But yeah, we had to dig quite deep there for a few times. Credit to the Bulls. Like, obviously they're a class outfit. They're always sort of there or thereabouts, aren't they?
Watch that game. It felt like a knockout game. The intensity, step up from anything you've had this year.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it probably was a step up in intensity. Definitely the physicality was a step up. But you know, they're the games you want to play in. So just buzzing to be out there in front of the home fans.
Hey, Josh, I got one more. A lot of the boys go away international duty now. You got a bit of time off?
Yeah, we got 3 weeks off, Wills.
Oh. So what are you doing in 3 weeks off? You firing up the YouTube channel again?
I'm actually going to head up to the Shetlands doing a bit of spearfishing. So on the overnight ferry from Aberdeen.
Invite.
You want to come?
I'm in. Are we in?
I'm in.
There's a little Friday Night Lights demo. We could go up there with him, do a little hunting, do a little fishing, spear fishing, and then show it on the next Friday Night Lights episode.
I like how your brain's working.
Are you taking us there then?
Yeah, let's go Shetlands next weekend.
Right, are we finding one more box?
Yeah, I've got to tell my missus I'm going spearfishing.
Hold on.
You'll be all right.
What is going on? Why has Haystow got a cake?
Haystow.
Maybe it's his birthday, I don't know.
Come on.
Hey, well done, mate.
Come on, talk us through it.
Well, I only knew I was near 500.
Whatever.
Yeah, you knew.
Because he told me, he was on comms last week and someone told me I was on 497 or something. So are you going to smash this
No,
off
I'm
my
not going to
face?
smash it off your
You're
face.
going to have a bite though. Come on.
Who got that for you?
The Glasgow behind the scenes.
Okay, that's not true. His missus actually brought it to the game. She's just over there and she's just sent it over. I can't believe you'd pre-planned this. 500 points. How does it feel, mate?
Yeah, good, very good. Even more the better we got the win, so very sweet.
Go on, have a little bite of it. Go on, get into it. Barks, whilst he does that, you're going to send this to the break, I think. I'll have a bite.
I thought you were going to make me have a bite. We are going to go to the break after. Oh, can I have a bite? Go on, give us a wee.
Get it in, lads.
We've got to send it to the break, quick.
We're going to send this one to the break. There'll be more cake, more reaction coming up after the break.
To the break.
Delighted to be joined by victorious Glasgow coach Franco Smith. Franco, give us your assessment of that one.
Yeah, great. That must have been good to watch from the stand. If you don't want one team only to win, you know. So I thought some good entertainment. I thought very physical for both sides. Good intent, good intensity. I think it was must have been something that the people out there enjoyed.
There's a mega momentum swing in that second half, wasn't there, when Curtly Aarons' try gets disallowed for the little knock-on and then you come down the other end. What were the messages going on to the pitch at that point? Because it looked like all the momentum was with the Bulls, with the scrum, the yellow card and everything that went with that. But how proud are you, the lads, for turning it round?
No, they did extremely well. I thought actually, you know, the ball was ripped off us while we were on the ground there, and I actually thought he was going back for that. So it was quite calm when he allowed it to go. And then to see the knock-on afterwards was then obviously a benefit, but no, I thought Gregor Brown got reefed while he was still up. So, no, the message was just stay calm. It doesn't matter if that try was going to be scored or not. We're going to stick to what we've been doing. You know, I told them half-time we're not going to care about the scoreboard. It's about progressing and, you know, getting the next action better.
Frankie, you speak about staying calm. At half-time, you dominated possession in the first half. You dominated territory. Do you feel like you should have been further ahead on the board? And was it calm at half-time?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always reasonably calm at half-time. So, no, it's there's a plan, obviously, and they defended well. We asked so many questions, and we knew that, you know, they can't keep on defending like that the whole game. And, yeah, so I hope that the bench that came on would have made a difference, which I did.
Yeah, the bench made a big difference in terms of just giving more ideas, because sometimes it's really difficult when you have so much possession. It's especially the first 25-30 minutes, so many opportunities to attack, so much possession, yet one or two handling errors. Sometimes I think the players can almost try and make some new because they've had so many touches in the ball. Is that ever an issue?
Yeah, definitely. The people have got a lot of creative backs there, they go off script or they become innovative. We encourage that. It's not that we take that away, but after 6, 7, 8 phases, you might run out of support and turn it over. So it is a balance between when and how and what. But I thought we stuck reasonably well to it. Patient, we got good penalties at the back end of their defense set. So I was happy with the fact that we could make full use of it, and the fact that we converted in the last 20 metres, and the second part of last 20 was very important.
I don't want to be negative. I'm a Glasgow fan. I'm always wanting more. You would have probably taken 4 points at the beginning of this, but is there a little bit you're frustrated not getting the 5 points, not getting that bonus point try at the end?
Look, Ryan, if we didn't have platforms, I would have been not as disappointed. Yes, but we had platforms, we had opportunity. Maybe that quick tap in front of the post instead of kicking it to the corner or something like that, but I'm not going to criticize that. The guys stick to the process. It's early in the season, so lessons to be learned and something to take forward from this. But I thought the fact that we came back scrum time so well, and the fact that we converted some good mauls against some big humans, was important. So, no, we had platforms, yes, and therefore a little bit disappointed, but I would have taken the win any day.
One of the things you mentioned then was the scrum and the change in the scrum. You made the change at half-time, taking Jamie Batty off and bringing Nathan Macbeth on, who ends up scoring the winning try effectively as well. What was the thought process around that? I know there was a warning going out there, and Jamie Batty was struggling a bit, but that's a tip of the slipper to the coach, right, for making the change?
Yeah, look, both of them, both Murphy and Jamie, are both coming back from injuries, so we always knew, you don't always have to start your bench. So we made them play the first part of the game to, get to that intensity and that focus. And unfortunately, it went on to a warning, but in the end, there was always going to be the plan to play them one half, and therefore I decided when Murph had a problem with his shoulder there, I decided, well, if it doesn't reach the halfway mark, then we'll swap him before.
Was it always a plan to play Jack Dempsey's return for a full 80 minutes, and it was some shift, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. I think if he really wanted to contribute, he would have been really unhappy with me if I took him off earlier. So, no, it's fantastic that they managed the density or the intensity of the game, and also, you know, he applied them really well. And to be then player of the game is really some accolade to all the hard work he's put in.
Just a word on the back row in general, Frank. I thought they were exceptional. Gregor Brown playing in the back row again with Matt Ferguson. They felt like that was the foundation that set the physical tone for you guys this evening.
Yeah, I think Matt specifically, you know. Gregor is not a lock, although he's played. We mustn't be surprised if he played well at 6, because that is what he prefers. So,
do you think that's his best position?
No, I think he can also play there.
That's a straight bat answer.
So, yeah, no, I think his versatility, ability to be able to scrum and run, that is the trick. You know, that's played in the front part. All the blood goes into the legs after scrums and mauls, and then to be able to move around the park still is very, very important. So. And he's a good ball carrier. He brings some physicality between the 215. So, good player.
Have you just reassessed this block then? Because I'm sure you have broken it down into blocks. That's it. The first block of the URC is over. We go into an international period now. Can you assess it for us? Are you happy? You know, obviously that loss against Benetton was probably the toughest one to take, but you're pretty happy with where you are?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the one that stands out. You know, we played so well in the first half. We were on our way to go 17-3 up 10 minutes before half-time there, and could have easily gone away with it. We got turned over 4 times within a foot from the try line, and you know, then you have some regrets. And I know from previous experiences, you must make hay while the sun shines. So, yeah, from that perspective. But the way we reacted to that, the lessons we took on board. You know, we didn't have a pre-season games with the players that played in the first 2 games. We know that there's a tough season ahead, and so we played the young boys in the 2 warm-up games, and it was basically for most of the players to start against Benetton and against the Sharks. So now I did feel that we are, you know, getting momentum, and the guys are understanding what we want, and I think we hand them over to Scotland in best rugby and physical form. So. Yeah, so from that perspective, now it's to get the young boys up and going so that they can fire when we get back back after the with the Autumn Nations.
Yeah, you said then about making hay while the sun shines. The sun is shining in other parts of the world. Josh Mackay said he's got 3 weeks off. He's going spearfishing or something.
In the Shetlands.
He's just come back from Benidorm and Magaluf on great holidays. What are you doing over the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, I'm going home to South Africa to just go and visit my parents, to see my daughter, and all my family's all there, you know, to just go and catch up with them a little bit. So yeah, looking forward to spend a bit of time with my family and my parents. I'll be back well in time to get the ship back in the water.
Always going back to South Africa after beating the Bulls as well, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't. That wouldn't have mattered, but I prefer to go there.
So sure. And the Sharks, you've been them off here as well. So.
Franco, we'll let you go and get your passport, get your bags packed, and enjoy the trip home to South Africa. Well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Franco.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Cheers, Franco.
A man with a plan.
He's going home, mate. He's going home for a holiday, isn't he?
I meant more about the rugby.
He's still got it. Look at him.
He's got a plane to catch, hasn't he? He's off ski.
He's got a private jet.
I'm surprised, John, you're not going on another holiday as well.
No, I got one. A week off the holidays. I mean,
he's happy.
He's happy.
He's happy with those 4 wins.
That's the happiest I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he's gone home. He's gone home. But I just think I'm always struck by the level of detail, not on the pitch, but the planning that he seems to have around how he rotates the squad. And we've spoken about it a lot, about just the depth of the squad that he's created and manufactured. That, I think, is so impressive, so important that they go into the next break, they get a few weeks off, then come back and feel refreshed, ready for the next block.
Yeah, he said it on round 1, didn't he, as well, talking about the younger lads playing in the pre-season games. And he's got to build that depth away. You obviously lost a few players at the end of last season, but ultimately building squad depth, and the fact that there's 19 players in the Scotland squad is a testament to him and what he's doing here with the group, and also building for the future. And I love the way, when you say about the first 5 games, the one thing he picks up is the loss to Benetton. That's so...
And he knows all the stats. He's got all the stats.
Yeah, and that's the detail that he goes in, right? It's brilliant to see, and that's how much he cares about his job and how good he is, and that's why they've had success here.
Just looking specifically at the game this evening, do you think it could have gone either way? Because the Bulls got off to almost the perfect start to the second half with the LaRue try.
Yeah, this came after Visa's massive break up in the midfield, and it was brave from Leroux to throw that ball in because everybody was out on their feet, especially the Bulls. But two brilliant lines. De Klerk with the first one here after this. I actually think somebody comes into counter-ruck from Glasgow and then leaves the space. De Klerk spies it, goes clean through, gets it hands-free. Norkia supports, and then Willie Leroux, who's just got so much class about him, he just understands the game so well, waltzes through and dots down. And at that point, the Bulls were understandably on top, but they were dominant.
Yeah, they were so dominant. They had the scrum advantage. You know, Jamie Bassett, they'd had a the bin, hadn't they, as well? But ultimately, they had the scrum penalties with that dominance, and then they get the try, and then you're thinking, actually, this is going to be a tough sort of last half an hour for Glasgow, and somehow they turn it round with Curtly Aronson try being chalked off.
You talked about it in comms. I can't remember which one of you it was, but just about they left so much out there in the first half, and I think one of you questioned whether the fatigue would pay in the second half. It looked to me like the Bulls came out and knew the first 10 minutes would be huge because Glasgow were going to come back, and as I said, Andrew,
Well,
they're ahead with 20 more points. 20 minutes to go, mate.
You win, right?
You win the game.
This is a super strength of Glasgow. We've seen it for years now. I know it goes to a penalty try and obviously the sin binning as well, but you know, Glasgow sort of soaked up a little bit. They played out the yellow card really well to Macbeth, and ultimately, you know, going back to that, you watch Sione Tuipulotu in a minute just on the edge. I don't know if we're going to go and see it, but they're all celebrating. The backs are loving it. Sione didn't, as you boys said, he came in and did absolutely nothing.
In that one, I think he took it down. The other one, he took George Horne out the side of it as well.
But Glasgow got themselves into this position because of the penalties. The one kick to the corner, resulting in the penalty try, and then Macbeth coming on, who spent a bit of time in the sin bin. Proper clear out there, but this was cohesive. It was a lot of clarity. There was understanding. It's more difficult than you think to retain possession, not to give a penalty for flopping over, or not to leave the ball exposed. And as Franco said, they had clarity. There was a plan, and the big guys up front lead the platform.
It was impressive. Glasgow found a way back in. They took control, and the team that lost control ultimately were the Bulls. And I think we've got Connie, who caught up with Johan Ackermann.
Johan, commiserations. How do you begin to try and sum up that 80 minutes?
Yeah, I'm proud of the guys. I know obviously the players are disappointed and our supporters will be disappointed, but I felt we were in the game, and unfortunately that penalty try took away the momentum, and obviously I saw it differently, and would like to know how they saw it, because it was definitely not us collapsing that more.
Yeah, and I think the turning point of Kurt Lee's try, that wasn't a try. What was your take on that? And I guess that was such a pivotal moment in terms of just the direction of the game.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's why there's TMOs, but they seem to be only there when they need to be, and then again there was neck rolls and head cleans and so many things they could have referred, but then there's nobody talking, and when there's a little knock on, then suddenly everybody can see it. So it's a bit frustrating at the moment, when does the TV get used and when not.
When you have nights like that, but defensively in moments strong, you spoke about that before this one, about making sure that was something that you focused on tonight. Is that something you can at least in some way take a bit of a positive from?
Yeah, no, I'm very positive. I'm so proud of the players, the effort they've put in defensively. That's why I said it feels like 21-12 doesn't feel like a true reflection of our defensive effort, and that's why I'm so disappointed in the fact that I felt really we stepped up defensively and our set piece was good, and we just, obviously there was a momentum swing when we couldn't get it back after that yellow card.
Bit of time now. How do you begin to sort of start to build for this next part of the URC?
Yeah, we've got a few weeks off. Obviously we're losing a few players that was not here tonight. Well, that's to the Springboks, and players that was here tonight, and there's a number of players that is returning from injury when we're back home. So there's going to be a nice competition, and then we'll reassess after the 3 weeks, work on a few things, and first of all, get back and be with our families and enjoy that, to be back with our families. Yeah, and I thank the Lord for our blessing, protecting us this 3 weeks, and we really enjoyed it here abroad.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot, Con. Thanks a lot.
Well, you can sense some frustrations in the week from decisions that were made, and clearly Johan Ackermann there frustrated in some of the decisions that were made tonight.
Yeah, he wasn't happy, was he? Talking about the TMO not coming in for neck rolls. I didn't see many, but he's obviously not happy with what happened last week, the ban, and then this week the decision's going against them. I thought the penalty try was pretty clear cut. They collapsed it. Penalty try goes under the sticks, but he wasn't happy, was it? Mate, you were right. Sione Tuipulotu must have taken it down instead. So, they're happy to go home to their family.
They are happy to go home. Listen, boys, it's been wonderful. Goody, you were great last week, but
time's
John,
up, is it?
I'm so happy.
It's so good to be back.
I love you, man. I love you.